Hi, everyone. So welcome to Lockdown Laughs number 10.
Woo!
Woo! And we have an amazing show tonight. It's international, kinda. So we have an amazing show, amazing headliner, amazing acts. It's going to be fantastic. And so a few housekeeping items before we get started is please keep your microphones open so that we can hear you laugh. Like, we're comics, we're insecure. We need that validation. Okay? You don't have to keep your camera on if you don't want. We would like it, but you don't have to. But please try and keep your microphones open. And we only want to hear you laugh. Okay, that's all we want to hear. Okay, because it's been a long and lonely year for some of us, and we don't need to hear that stuff. Thank you. So a little bit about me is my name is Simone Holder, and I'm a comic based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And I'm going to warn you guys, like, some of the things that you're about to hear from me and from some of the other comics on the show tonight may be so dark that you won't want to date it, hire it, or rent an apartment. Okay? And don't let this pretty, resting, nice-faced, and pleasant demeanor fool you. I hate everything and everyone. So whenever I say I'm fat, someone always says, no, you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, I know. I said I was fat, not ugly. Jeez. I do have a medical condition, though. It's called bitch, put that burger down syndrome. And my ideal weight is Sidney Crosby on top of me. The thing is, I need healthier, more productive ways of comforting myself when I'm upset or stressed. Like, I wish that, I would choose to run up and down a flight of stairs a few times instead of diving head first into like vats of ice cream. No, but that doesn't happen. Or I crush a bag of carrots instead of a Costco-sized bag of chips. Or as a lot of white people do, take a walk in the woods. But I don't understand that. I don't understand white people's fascination with the woods, because the woods are designed to kill us. Okay? But white people love walking in the woods and hiking in the woods. And some of you nut jobs like sleeping in there too. Like, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what that's about. And like, if you ever see my fat black ass in the woods, know that I am lost and actively trying to die. Please call for help. Please. And I also get anxiety whenever I have to find my year of birth on an online form on my phone. Like, I was born in 1967, so I have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll till I find my year. And it's like I'm on The Price is Right, spinning the fuck out of that wheel until it catches fire. And it's like, wheel of arthritis. It's crazy. And like, first of all, why would anyone under the age of 15 be filling out a form on a phone? And why do the years start at 2021? Like, what baby is filling out a form on a phone?
Right?
It makes no sense. Like, none. So I got my first dose of the vaccine about a month ago. Woo!
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. And my arm was sore, but other than that, I was fine. And the only side effect I had was extreme sexual arousal.
Ooh.
I was all tingly, and all I wanted to do was hump furniture and spit in people's mouths. Recently, I filled a prescription, and on the bottle it said, take 3 tablets daily by mouth. And by mouth was in capital letters. And I was like, was that necessary? Like, how did they think I was going to take it? Like, by ass or by puss? Like, I think taking medication anywhere than by mouth requires a very specific conversation with your doctor. And the answer to can I touch your hair is always no. Always no. I am not a llama in a petting zoo. You can't just pet me. I'll let you touch my vulva before I let you touch my hair. And I once ate a man's cooking for the sake of our relationship. By those weird chuckles I just heard, you thought I was going to say his ass. So that's what it tasted better. Yeah, I had to eat his ass to get the taste of the food out of my mouth. Revolting. And after, we've been in isolation, like in Ontario and Canada, we're still in lockdown. And it's been a long time. We've been in lockdown for a long time. And I don't think a man can finish the job for me anymore. You know what I'm talking about. Because I've been using battery operated devices exclusively for over a year now. And like, sure, a man can do things that a toy can't, like kiss me, choke me, and spank me. But, at the end of the day, I'll be just tossing a bunch of toys at him and saying, pick one, let's go. Wait, what's that? You want to use your tongue? Oh, that's cute. Unless your tongue can, like a Hitachi magic wand, no. Pick a fucking toy. Let's get this done. My last serious relationship ended because our communication styles were not compatible. Like my primary love language was quality time, while his was gaslighting. When men approach me, I can tell if they're interested or just curious. And I have zero patience for the curious man. Because to him, I'm just a bucket list item. And if he likes them a little old, a little fat, and a little exotic, then, geez, I'm the triple crown of dating bucket list items. And my love life is so dead that I'm considering like dating someone in jail, like dating a convict, like going on the inside to find love. Like that's how bad it is. And it's like, I don't care why he's in there, but I'll tell you why I'm going to consider it. Like, I'll know where he is and what he's doing 24/7. I don't have to worry about other women. And I don't have to meet his parents because he killed them. And I've heard some crazy things when it comes to dating and relationships, like really wacky, stupid things. And one of them is you shouldn't meet someone in a bar or at work or on a dating app. And I'm like, okay, well, where are we supposed to meet people then? Hey, riddle me that. Like, where are we supposed to meet? Another one is that relationships end in one of two ways. You either break up or you get married. And that's how I ended up married. And I'm never doing that again. And another one is if you're not dating to marry, you're just wasting time. And I was like, what? That's insane. I'm not dating to marry. I'm dating to fuck. My specialty is broken men. Sometimes they come to me broken. Sometimes I break them. I'm versatile. And the clitoris has over 8,000 nerves. So if you're going to get on my nerves, I suggest you get on one of those, please. Thank you. I sent a guy a very sexy, very explicit voicemail memo. And on my phone, it sounded amazing. It sounded great. But when I opened the file on my computer, oh my God, I could hear things in the background, like the vibrator that was advertised as silent. Also, I'm an overweight 54-year-old asthmatic ex-smoker with post-pulmonary embolism lung damage. So there was wheezing. Wheezing is not sexy, okay? So I freaked out, but the podcast editor audio file in me took over and cleaned it up. He loved it. Loved it. But now he thinks it only takes me 2 minutes to come in Dolby Sound. And about a month or so ago, I was the target of a hate crime. When I declined a random man's advances towards me, he got really mad and called me a fat nigger whore. Yeah. He said I was fat. If he'd only called me a fat whore, I would have been like, oh, that's fair. Fine. But he had to go all hate crimey on me, you know? And a whore? Really? I haven't put enough mileage on this puss to qualify as a whore. A hussy, maybe? Probably, but not a whore. Are you ready to get this show started? Woo! Woo! Woo, woo, woo. Okay. So your first act is an acupuncturist and Chinese medicine professional. He is a self-proclaimed expert in the field of cultural appropriation. Let's give it up for JP Brunelle.
Woo!
Woo, woo.
Whoa. Oh. Sorry, guys. So let me catch my breath. I'm sorry. I was just practicing for my audition as the character Raiden in the hit video game and film series Mortal Kombat. Had to work it out. I learned all my sweet moves today at my new job as a bylaw officer. I take my civic duty very seriously. It is my duty as a citizen to choke out teenagers that can't social distance. They say, I can't breathe. I tell them it's better than getting COVID as they slowly black out. You know what gets me angry though? Fucking unvaccinated people. I mean, they're the worst. They spread disease. They bring down property value and rape our women. Well, that's what my wife said happened. These people are ruining it for everybody else. That's why we need the passports, people. First, we start with travel. If that goes well, we'll have vaccine-only theaters, restaurants, water fountains. Otherwise, these parasites will just do whatever they want, like hug each other. Quite frankly, it's pornographic. But don't worry, citizens. Soon I'll be issued a service weapon. Then I can really start to clean up these fucking streets. The other week, a volcano erupted in the Caribbean. Evacuation teams were prioritizing vaccinated people to board the ships. It reminds me of that saying on the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, but only with proof of medical purity. Bitch. I don't know why they put that one in. That's a little bit obscene. Jesus Christ, I just ruined where I was. Fuck my life, bitch. You know who doesn't require passports to go visit? Haiti. They've had less, that's right, Haiti. They've had less than 300 COVID deaths the entire pandemic. The World COVAX organization offered them free shipments of the vaccine, but they refused. Their numbers were too insignificant. I guess you probably have a pretty healthy immune system if you're fighting off gangs of voodoo zombies all the time. You know, people don't talk enough about the immune boosting benefits of shrunken heads. Over the pandemic, I've been very productive. I wrote my autobiography. It's called The Tearjerker. It's about how I mostly cry when I jerk off to cope with my demons. It's a real page turner. Some pages are easier to turn than others.
All right.
But crying and jerking off is not the only way I cope with stress. That would be pathetic. I have lots of tools to cope with stress, okay? My favorite thing is to go for a walk. I walk to the park, I check out the tulips, I find a nice rock and throw it through a window at City Hall. So my girlfriend and I are looking to get into the housing market, even though our mortgage broker told us, you will own nothing and you will be happy. So we've just adjusted our expectations and have narrowed it down between two tent villages. One sits on some waterfront, and I mean by waterfront, it's a sewage ditch, but having a place to bathe and take a shit is on my must-have list. And at 41, I need my creature comforts. You guys following along? All right? Perk the fuck up. The other day on social media, someone had the audacity to call me a Dr. Google. Do doctors not use Google? Are they like not allowed to use the internet for some reason? Are all doctors just searching through used copies of Encyclopedia Britannica? I guess I'm the fucking idiot. So I was watching the movie Blood Diamonds the other day, and I cried when Leonardo DiCaprio died at the end. And I just thought to myself, fuck, that's racist. I mean, child soldiers, ethnic cleansing, nothing. Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. I lose it. I'm officially canceling myself. I'm going to beat all you fuckers to the punch. Bill and Melinda Gates are getting divorced. My question is, what happens to the charity? It must be tough, you know? They'll have to get all the kids together and say, who's it going to be? Who do you want to live with, mommy or daddy? And on a bad note, see you later.
Thank you, JP. I don't even know what to say. That was funny. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll keep the show moving along. And so your next act is a Canadian stand-up comic, currently based out of Montreal, my hometown. He's a former collegiate football player who nobody talked out of pursuing comedy after graduation somehow. And growing up in the plains of Alberta, his comedy is known to draw from his redneck upbringing and navigating through your 20s. So let's give a big welcome to Joel Slavik. Woo!
Woo! Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm good too. Thanks for asking. So I hail from Alberta, which most people think is pretty white trash. I prefer to keep race out of it. We can just say trash. Alberta's not really where dreams go to die. It's more where dreams get cremated, you know? Like anyone who moves there, their dreams have been dead for a long time. I'm 23 years old. I'm going through a quarter life crisis. It's a real thing, trust me. It's a lot like a midlife crisis, except instead of buying a motorcycle, you start a comedy career. You guys ever get told you look like someone famous? Like my friends and I like to compare our celebrity doppelgangers. It's a fun game we play. My one friend loves it because he always gets Zac Efron, so he wins.
Oh, did he freeze for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Could be a shtick.
I lie about my height a lot.
Oh,
Uh,
we
you
lost
go.
you for a few seconds.
Like whenever a
there,
girl
Zach.
asks you your height,
Oh no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
hello.
Yeah, we lost you for a few seconds
guys-
there.
Oh, you're very frozen.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Okay.
Moved a little. Still
Okay.
frozen.
We see you now. But we lost you for a few seconds.
Okay. So that joke did bomb.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we didn't hear it. We didn't hear it.
We just heard Zac Efron. Was the last
Yeah,
thing.
Zac Efron.
Oh,
that was the
oh,
last
shit.
thing we
Okay,
heard.
okay.
So yeah.
All right. I'll just go on the next one. Fuck it.
So who do you look like?
lie
I'd like
about-
to hear it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So my one friend
I'm
always gets Zac
invested now.
Efron, so yeah. Okay. All right. My one friend always gets Zac Efron, so he wins. I usually get the guy from Inglourious Bastards. No, not Brad Pitt. One of the Nazi extras. Not my favorite game.
Will help.
I lie about my height a lot. Like whenever a girl asks you your height, you need to round up. You know, if she's 5'1", you really think she knows the difference between 5'11" and 6'4"? I even have a preference of either way you're getting towered over. It doesn't matter how tall I say I am. A girl is never gonna go on a date with me, and when she's asked about it after, go, well, he said he was 6 feet, but he was actually 5'11". Like that isn't the inch she's gonna be telling all her friends about. One of my friends is a smoker. She turned to me. She goes, I'm going to go get some fresh air and have a cigarette. I was like, that seems pretty counterproductive. I want to go get some fresh air and suck some tar into my lungs. I don't really see the point of the fresh air. You may as well just smoke that inside. I don't judge you if you smoke. You know, live your life. Whenever my friends who smoke pull out their cigarettes, I notice the warning labels on the front of the packs. I was like, do you think smokers have a preference on which graphic anti-smoking label they get? Like they'll be at a gas station. Yeah, let me get the Belmonts. One guy with his jaw missing, one with a needle going into an eyeball, and one miscarried fetus. Got any blood in the urine?
No.
Can't wait to smoke all of these. Did you lose me?
A little. Yeah, you dropped for a
Oh, okay,
second or
cool.
two.
I missed going out. I miss going out during the pandemic. You know, I miss being social at the bar. But there's a few things I don't miss. Like, why do girls always have to cry when they go out? Why do guys always have to fight when they go out?
Because we're drunk.
Can't we all agree these are not good qualities? See, it's 2021. I don't think we should be tied to these gender roles. That's why when I go out, I like to fight and then cry when I get punched in the face. You can call me a pussy, but I'm actually very brave. So I'm progressive. I learned a ton playing sports in my childhood. You know, team sports are great. I learned a lot of sayings that still resonate with me to this day. I remember one time in high school, I said in my hockey dressing room, "It's not how big you are, it's how big you play." One of my coaches laughed and goes, "Is that what you tell yourself in the shower?" To which I replied, "Coach, come on. That's what you tell me in the shower." Tinder is interesting. It's funny hearing about Tinder from a female perspective. Like, I asked a girl I knew what it was like for her, and she said it's mostly just guys posing with fish they caught. I was like, has that ever worked?
Nope.
Do you think a girl has ever been swiping on a dating app and been like, holy fuck, is that a river trout? I'm so fucking wet. Save some ass and ass for the rest of us fish guys. Jesus Christ. As you can probably tell, I'm white, whitewashed Canadian. I think it's funny when white people get asked what their background is, because it's always, I'm 2% Scottish, 13% English, 40% Italian. I'm 60% water and just white. Exciting. I don't think you should have to read out a pie chart to feel cultured. Once had someone come up to me with their arm and compare it to mine and go, "Oh, I'm darker than you." Like, wow. Congrats on the bare minimum. Welcome to the club that is everyone except for me. The only people I'm darker than are in the morgue. So congrats on the pulse. I work in finance. So a lot of my coworkers are my parents' age. And another thing they have in common with my parents is asking me what the holdup is on me getting married. Like, I'm just going to drop everything and take marriage advice from the generation that got divorced 50% of the time. Like, you guys didn't learn the hard way? Would you tell me to go skydiving if 50% of the parachutes didn't open? Oh, you know, Joel, clock's ticking on getting married. No, it's fucking not, Karen. It's at a standstill, actually. I was a late bloomer. Being a late bloomer as a kid is tough, you know, because the early bloomers who are genetically gifted kind of run the school. Like, I remember I used to pray to God for a big dick when I was younger. Because, like, having a big dick in the locker room was like a status. And I just wish I could talk to myself back then and be like, trust me, when you get to my age and you see your penis, you'll see that there is no God. Okay. And now I had someone say to me the other day, "Oh, you're doing stand-up now? You must have girls all over you." To which I replied, "You clearly have never heard anything I've ever said on stage." Like, girls would go running the other way if they thought I was serious about being a raging alcoholic who never wears condoms, but that's just not true. You know? I'm a recreational alcoholic who sometimes wears condoms. I just graduated university. I played football for my school. And the best part about playing football in university is once you get there, your major's already picked for you. Yeah. Major brain trauma. Who even needs short-term memory? You know, it's a very forgettable quality. When I tell people I played football, their first reaction is, "Oh, what did you play?" To which I reply, "I'm short, pasty, and unathletic, so I didn't."
No?
Yeah, we lost him there for a minute.
Hello?
Yeah, you're frozen.
You can do it. Yeah. It's like we're at Madame Tussauds.
Can you hear us?
One ankle. Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, you're frozen.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. Oh, we lost him.
Solar flare.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So we lost him, but if he comes back, at some point we'll let him finish his set.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
So yeah, we'll just let him finish his set when he comes back.
I think he's here.
Oh, is he?
Oh.
Yeah, but looks like he's frozen.
Sorry
still.
about that.
Okay.
Mm.
Whale?
Good thing he came back.
Yeah. No, I don't see him anymore. I don't see him.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
see him
he's
on the
still on
bottom.
my screen.
Yeah, he was on my screen. And then I tried to spotlight him and now he's totally gone. Oh, there he is. Okay.
It started pooping.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
We can hear you now. Oh, he's frozen again.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I'm starting to be like, is this a bit?
Because it's killing. Yeah. It's definitely interesting.
This is
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, we can't understand.
Do we just message him in the group chat?
Yeah. That's what.
Okay.
Oh shit.
you guys hear me?
Oh, barely.
Yeah, I heard that. Just that. Just did you hear me?
We should move on.
Oh,
Oh,
and he's
he's
gone.
gone again.
Oh,
He's
she
gone
nikes.
This is like high school for me. It's like he's gone and he's back, and he's gone and he's back.
But it's my last boyfriend.
I know. Like, damn.
Oh my goodness. Okay, he's back.
Joel appears to be live.
All right.
Guys, I'm
Yeah,
very
there
sorry.
he is.
That's okay.
This is the worst set ever. Is it working?
I mean, right now.
Yeah, you're moving now.
Okay,
Yeah, we
holy
can hear
shit.
you now.
I have one more joke. I really have one
Okay.
more joke. Okay. Fuck me. What a buildup. Okay. One season I broke my ankle. And like not broken. I mean, it was 90 degrees to the left. Not pretty. So I'm in the ER. I'm about to get painkillers so I can put it back in place. The nurse takes the needle, puts it in my arm. And as she's pushing the drugs into my veins, she looks me dead in the eye and says, "This is the same stuff Michael Jackson overdosed on." And then just pulls it out. Is that not just top 10 worst things you'd want to hear before going under? There was a large part of me that didn't think I was going to wake up. But I remember coming to and being so upset that she did that to me because I wanted the stuff that killed Prince. All right, that's my time, guys. Sorry about the
Yeah.
connection thing.
Oh,
Fucking
you did
jackass.
great. Good
Thank
job.
you, Joel. That was great.
Thanks,
That was
guys.
great. Thank you so much. I just want to call back to the joke you were talking about with height. That
Yeah.
if she's 5'1" or 5'2", we had Ameera and Ashley pipe in and say, "Oh yeah, we have no idea. I'm 5'9". So if a man says he's 5'10" or 5'11", I can tell. You know? And I had an experience where this was way back in like the pioneer days of dating online. It was on the phone, and talking to this guy, and he told me he was 5'11". And I was like, okay, cool. I'm 5'9". So we talked back and forth. We decided to meet for coffee. So he told me what he's wearing. I told him what I was wearing. I'm sitting in the coffee shop. He showed up late, first of all. And so I see this guy walking towards me, and he was like really late, and I stayed too long waiting for him, and I was pissed by the time he got there. And as he's walking towards me, I was like, okay, the description of what he's wearing, but he's too short. And he comes up and he's like, "Hi." And the first thing was like a reflex. I was like, you're not 5'11." And he says to me, "Yes, I am." And so I stood up and he hit me like at the tits. And then I left. I'm like, if you're 5'11", I'm 8 feet tall. Bye. So sometimes we can tell. All right. So your next act is a non-binary comic based out of Chicago. I met them on another show a few months ago and really enjoyed their comedy. They are currently producing a live show in their backyard that is streamed for free for anyone who'd like to see it. So please welcome Katie Zane.
Thank you so much, Simone. I am really enjoying the show. I just wanted to do a little tag on Joel's thing. I too, when I was a kid, I prayed for a big dick. I did. That's very true. When I was growing up, I'm 37, so I grew up in the fucking 90s, like just before we had all the language for it. Like I got out of high school and then there was like all these words and I was like, what? I'm so late. I was, but like, so yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't understand how gender worked because children don't. And gender is a construct, just like children know. And so I would run around to all my little neighborhood friends when I was like 5, 6, 7, and I'd be like, yeah, I just haven't gotten my penis yet. Like I'm supposed to get one though. Like any day I'm gonna get it. And like the thing is, like, this is a joke, but I thoroughly believed that I would get a dick one day. Like thoroughly believed. I was like, okay, I'll be like everybody else. I'll just have a dick and I'll be able to do things. Like it's like I already knew when I was a child, like I'll be able to get a lot more done if I have this dick. Like I'll be able to get so much more accomplished if I have this penis. Yeah, being non-binary is kind of like interesting. It's one of those things that for me, because I didn't have the language, it took me a really long time to come out. But one of the other reasons why it took me a really long time to come out is because of how a lot of people like to react to the information that somebody has pronoun preferences. And also, like, so I just want to clear up a couple things. There are some people out there that believe that people that transition or are non-binary and have pronoun preferences are doing it for attention. I really want to clear something up. I don't even want people to look at me. Like, I don't even want you to look at me. Like, if I could perform like with my back to you somehow and it would still work, I would do that. Like, I don't want you to know the details of my fucking face. Like, I don't want you to look at me. And like, there's this other misconception about being non-binary, that like, it's like this, it's just like, oh, I just really wanted to do this really complicated thing. Like people are like, because being non-binary is committing to doing calculus every day and then teaching everyone around me calculus every day. Because that is what it's like having a pronoun preference. I just visited my friend for 8 days in Colorado. She got it right by the 8th day. Like it took a week for her to be like, okay, finally. And she couldn't even settle on they, them. It was he, him. She couldn't even like do the plural, singular situation. She was like, I just can't. And I was like, okay, it's fine. Just he, him. It's fine. Childhood me is very approving. So when I was also growing up, I was raised in a not Judeo-Christian faith. I was raised in the Baha'i faith. And I don't have enough time to explain that, but if you know what that is, like, good for you. But the Baha'i faith practices, they're like, basically what most people call church, but they do that about every 18 to 19 days. And I really, really could not grasp why people went to church every week. I was like, you do this every week? So you go to this place that tells you that you're going to hell, and then you just go and live your life and drink beers and like fuck your mistress, and you just do that every week. Like, just every week you're just a terrible person, and then you go into this place and you're like, yeah, now I'm good. Like, I'm so like totally good because I listened to this priest speak Latin for an hour. Like And the thing is, the other benefit of what the faith I was raised in is that because it is a smaller religion, most of the spiritual practices happened in people's homes. And so what that meant is I ate food in a lot of people's houses when I was growing up. And you can only imagine think of like a small child in church who could see a bunch of cake, like during the service. like they were staring at a table of like just the best spread of like all the dips and vegetables and popsicles and all the things you ever want. And you have to stare at that while the Latin is happening. That was what my childhood was. And people are like, why do you have issues with food? And I'm like, I don't know. I stared at cake and learned about God at the same time. I'm very confused about worshiping food. And like the thing also, because I wasn't raised in like a Christian faith, and I grew up in Virginia where it's very Bible belty in its own way, even though it's East Coast. But it was weird because I didn't know what was happening when I started getting bullied in like Christ love. Like I didn't understand what was happening when people are like, you're going to hell if you lay with a lady because you're a lady. And I was like, well, we have to talk about that. But also like, what's gonna happen? I was so confused about Jesus when I was a child. Like I was like, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? Like, who is this Jesus fella? Like, I don't understand. Like, you have this book that was written by people. And the thing is, like, the faith I was raised in, they wrote the book like 100 years ago. So it's like way more recent. Like, so much more recent and very plausible and not cult-like at all. I just want to make sure that I make that very clear when I'm talking about what I was
Very
raised in.
plausible.
The faith I was raised in, it made me a lovely, kind person. And it's, I'm also broken. So that's why I do this. But I'm also kind of nice sometimes. I was on a plane yesterday and I assured the person that sat in the window while I was in the aisle that I was a nice person when I basically wouldn't let anybody sit in the middle seat on Southwest. I was like, no one can sit here. I'm sorry, this isn't a sold out flight. No one's fucking sitting in this seat. It's because like I haven't sat next to a fucking stranger in well over a year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. And in my mind, they should still be like leaving seats between people. Like, like if you want to go to a place and you want to pretend like this is over, go to Florida or go to Colorado because they're wearing no masks.
Wow.
Like you want to have a panic attack, go to Colorado. I was like in a barbecue restaurant yesterday where most of the patrons did not have masks on. It was weird. That's not a joke. Sorry. That's just something I'm talking about. So I have multiple sclerosis and it's something I have to deal with. And it's also something that's like really difficult to explain. Like I've had it since I was 19. Like I said, I'm 37. So I'm like, how do I explain this to people? But I think I finally got it because it is an autoimmune disease, which does mean I'm just self-deprecating by factory setting. And what that means, if you're not familiar, it means that my body attacks itself. And this means that for me with multiple sclerosis, I have a lot of brain damage. And I recently learned when I was at the doctor, when I actually like saw my brain in MRI, I was like, oh, damn, I'm just having like the world's slowest lobotomy. Like, I'm just like watching little pieces of my brain disappear. Like, it's just like, okay, it's just real slow. Like, MS is such a weird disease because it's like, it won't kill you. It just makes it really terrible. Like it's not fatal, but it'll really suck for you to be alive. Like that's kind of what MS is like. So despite all this MS that I have and all these mental health problems that I also have that I haven't really mentioned, I was denied disability here in the US. And that's also part of their game. Like you have to like, it's like going to a drug dealer and getting them to trust you. I feel like that's getting disability from the government. Like, it's like, hey man, I'm really cool. Like, give me the money. But like they say no a few times and they send you away. And then, okay, maybe a drug dealer is not a very good analogy, but anyway, so the US government told me no. And in their no, they have very specific wording. And they were like, yeah, so we do validate that you are a disabled person, but also you're actually qualified to do sedentary, unskilled labor. If you guys know of any jobs that are available, like just That's a job lifting. Like, yeah. You don't know how to have to. You can be a baby and do this job. That's all we want. Can you sit? Are you a sitting up baby? Then yeah, you can do this job. I realized after I really had to think. I was like, what kind of job do they fucking think I can do? And so as I thought about it and I contemplated, I finally realized there is this one job that I am like perfectly suited for according to the U.S. government, and that job is being a mall Santa, you guys. Because a mall Santa really falls in, like, it's unskilled. Like, the only skill you need to be a Santa is not a creep. Like, that's just don't be a creepy adult, and then you can be a Santa Claus. And then also, I'm fat, you know, and I don't need the fat suit. Also, I feel like the beard would really, really help with the non-binary stuff. Like, I feel like if I just like wore it sometimes to demonstrate, yeah, if I could grow one of these, maybe not a white Santa beard, but, you know, just to demonstrate for you guys what it's like to live in here. The thing is, like, I'm going to get out on this last little quick thing, which is I have brain damage. Did I mention that earlier that I have brain damage? What I was about to say went right out of my head just now. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it there. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. You guys have been awesome. Have a good night.
Awesome. This was so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's hear it.
Woo!
Let's keep hearing it for Katie. That was great.
Thank you so much.
All right. So let's keep this moving. Like, who is next? Who's next? Okay, so I've done a few shows with your next act. The most recent one was on Tuesday, and he's really funny, and he's my new buddy, and he's from Hamilton, Ontario. Let's welcome Blair Brown. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I have a lucky day. There it is.
Woo!
Somebody penetrated the gun, but I did have like a side effect. I had a boner the whole time. Maybe I'm a fetishist. I don't know. And check this out. I went and got wings. I have to share this with you. This is a fucking carrot. Look at this thing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Is it a totem pole? Where did they find this thing? It's like a pumpkin turned into a carrot. What the fuck? And incidentally, anybody know a good butt plug store that has a good return policy? No. I like to save the world myself. You know, I have like these crazy ideas that might just work. Like, for instance, vibrators take up a lot of landfill, especially a guy named Landfill, but they take up all that landfill stuff. I'm just going to use this as a prop. Can I even? ASMR, baby. It's not rude to eat when you do your set, right? All right. So anyways, so this big dildo problem here, and by the way, I'm buying some dildos in bulk, so just PM me your sizes, all right? So the way I figure is we use some science to get rid of this. And by the way, I think they invented that like non-meat hot dog, probably dildo science. It's like, hey, we can eat this one. You know, put some ketchup on it. So I figure even a vibrator, we can mix like a cucumber and a Mexican jumping bean, get a little hybrid action going, and then it dances around. You got a cucumber that dances around. So after you use it, you can eat it. You know, just don't put it in your top drawer. It sneaks out at night. And then next time you open the drawer, there's like 15 of them in there. They'll eventually take over the world. So just be careful when you crossbreed your Mexican jumping beans and cucumbers to make a dildo. I'm always looking at the wrong side here. All right. So do you guys like inside jokes? Remember when Carl did that thing? Remember Sex with Sue? You ever heard Sex with Sue? She's this old bag on the radio
Sue
that
Johansson,
told you all these things. Yeah, Sue Johansson. So here's a gem, one of her gems. And guys, you're going to really love this one, especially straight guys. She said, how to go down on a chick is just imagine the clitoris, that little thing we were talking about earlier, as a little penis. Thanks, Sue. That's what I want. I want to be. Oh yeah. I'm giving head now. I'm not going down on somebody, but yeah, thanks a lot, Sue. You ever see girls that have the really long nails? And sometimes there's like jewelry and shit hanging off them. I often think, what would Edward Scissorhands say about that? He would say, "Can't you see you have hands?" And then I'd say to Edward Scissorhands, "So do you, you moron. Just shave that shit down, put some corks on the end, you retard." Oh, retired. R word. Wouldn't it suck if you had a cool band and then Jesus joined it and he couldn't play? You know, you'd be in the studio doing a nice song and then he keeps missing the note. So you'd have to go up to Jesus and say like, "Hey, Jesus, like you're a really cool dude, man. Everybody loves you, but you keep missing that note, buddy." And then Jesus, because he's Jesus, would say this cool like thing about how imperfection makes life beautiful and stuff. And everybody would be like, "Oh, that's so great." But then it's your band and you like, "Sorry, Jesus, in my band, we play it fucking perfect." And then you get to kick Jesus out of your band. But that's a fictional story. Jesus can play the guitar and he's real. All right. Do you guys ever see Naked and Afraid? That stupid show where they're naked on an island somewhere? Here's a little tip for you if you ever end up on that show. You bite your toenails off in the shape of fish hooks, and you tie your hair together and go fishing. Just in case, that's a good one for you. All right. I like to whisper during sex. So she'll say, "Come again?" All right. One small step for man is one giant leap for little people. Did I tell you guys that I'm a banker? Nope. I'm a sperm banker.
Oh.
You know, you get paid on commission. You know, some people like to put it in the mattress. I like to bank it. And incidentally, don't buy a used mattress with a hole in it. It's just not a good idea. I'm a gentleman in bed, as I was saying. Not only do I like to whisper and stuff, so I'm not too scary. I also, if she queefs, I do this. So I'll go, "It's me. It's me. I'm making that noise." Yeah, because I'm a gentleman. Getting back to going green, as I said, if we only admitted how much, like we do as comics do, but how much we pull the pud, flip the bean, whisk the crotch, what have you. If we just admitted it, like we do that, all that wasted energy. So we can get a device, you put it on your washing machine, you put it on your dishwasher, and then you bang it and it like does the dishes, right? We have an energy crisis. And then that way, like your husband will want to do the dishes, you know, Thanksgiving dinner will be like, "Honey, don't worry, I got these dishes." Your little kid will be like, "Mommy, can I wash the sheets again?" And be like, "Okay." Especially like a 14-year-old, he'd be doing the comforters like every night. It's like, "There's not even laundry in there." "I don't care, Mommy." And lastly, but not leastly, or it could probably leastly, do you guys like to use your imaginations? And I don't mean you look at a cloud and you're like, "Ooh, a cotton ball," or you wipe your butt, look at it and go and Warshak it and go, "Oh, a coffee stain." No, I mean like the ancient Greeks. They used to look at the dots in the sky and be like, "Look, it's a crab. It's a half man, half horse." Now, as a tribute to them, I'm going to do a little doodle here. Go to gallery mode. And who am I going to doodle here? Peter. All right, Peter. Nice. He likes it. Can you just move your chin to the right a little bit? Right there. Give me scared face. No, happy face. Yeah. Oh, there it is. He's the man, Elisa. All right. There we go. And boom. Oh, can't even see it. No. Have to do it. Good. Even better. Even better. Oh, there it is. There. I even gave you snakes for hair. There you go. And just to call back to some of Joel's stuff. See, I'm a sloucher. I'm 6 foot standing up, 6'1" laying down. Not because of the slouching, because of my enormous penis. And it all did start in the locker room when I was little. All the kids saw it, and then they started making fun of me. They're all like, "Hey, big dick, what are you doing? How'd you get in the doorway with your giant big dick, big dick?" Right? And it's so embarrassing. I walk down the hall, all the women are pointing at me. The teachers heard about it and made me stay after class, especially Mr. Johnson. He was gentle. But on that note, that's been almost my time, unless I want to. No, I don't. All right. Thank you very much. It's been fun. Thank you, Simone.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Blair.
peace, love.
Thank you so
Vax.
much.
Thank you're welcome.
Thanks
Yeah.
That was great. Let's keep it going for Blair. Thank
There
you
we
so
go.
much, Blair, and his
You're
giant
welcome.
carrot.
I can only imagine what it like. It's probably like a fucking telephone pole. I don't know.
So your next act is the co-host of Two Joke Minimum, and she's performed all over the world on Zoom. Please welcome Ameera Abu-alsaoud.
Woo!
Get it right?
Thank
Where
you.
is she? Okay. There you go. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I wear a wedding ring. I'm not married at all, but you know, you got to dress for the job that you want. I have social anxiety. I'm single and I'm anxious to mingle. All right. So I come from a strict Muslim family. I was all dolled up and ready to go. My dad's like, "Hey, take off that makeup. You look like a whore." Thanks. The ladies at Sephora think I'm beautiful. And they think I should wear more makeup. So I'm not going to take advice from a guy with 4 divorces. The only guys that are hitting on me are my creepy cousin and guys at open mics. My cousin was actually my safety, but then he got married. But that's okay. I don't want to keep this last name anyway. It's too hard to pronounce. I don't drink, but I'm a lot of fun when I'm tired. So just get me some ZQL and a bedtime story. I was talking to this vegan guy, and he was like, obviously gonna make me become vegan. Or try. And he was like, "Well, what dairy products can't you live without?" And I'm like, cheesecake, whipped cream, ice cream, you know, the essentials. I never heard back from him again. I was asking my dad where I can go on a date. He was like, "You guys can go to hell." So me and this guy weren't working out, and I was like, "You know what? Let's just stay friends." And he's like, "Can we be friends with benefits?" And I'm like, "We're McDonald's friends." My sister was like, "I don't like to touch gross things." And I'm like, "Okay, but you know you're not ready for dating, right?" Cool. My friend asked me, "Well, what kind of guy are you into?" And I'm like, "Black, white, Asian, Spanish. It doesn't matter. I'm over 30 and the clock is ticking." So lonely. Some guys will lie, steal, and cheat for sex. I will lie, steal, and cheat for Oreos. In my religion, if you say Bismillah, it blesses the food, and if you don't, the devil eats with you. I don't, for the company. I'm so glad my sister's pregnant, because in July I'll have 2.5 friends. My favorite part of the day is to hug my baby niece, because I'm so much stronger than her. She can't get out. My sister recently quit coffee and then started a new detox. She missed the diarrhea. My sister likes to wax her own bikini area. And I'm like, "Why don't you just shave it? So much easier." And she goes, "Oh, because it gets all bumpy and scaly." I'm like, "Men don't care what's on the outside. They only care what's on the inside." So I didn't leave the house for a very long time, and my sister got fed up trying to convince me to leave. She's like, "Leave the house or I'll stab you." I'm like, "Wow, you should be a motivational speaker." The next Eric Thomas. So I was a bit suicidal last year. And I was like, you know what? I made a list when I was 7. I shouldn't kill myself. I should just kill the people that made me this way. People not laughing. I see you, Joel. Probably frozen.
I think you're right.
Still taking him off the list. All right. So my friend was asking me how my new job was going, and I'm like, oh, it's good. I just forgot how it was to be miserable for money. I was in a Zoom class, and every time we did an assessment, our teacher would get a bing. She's like, I got binged all weekend. I'm like, too much information, Crystal. I was trying to get my family's attention, and they were like ignoring me. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I'll just go online and do stuff for attention. I hit a new low. I got rejected by a depression study. They said I was overqualified. So I like this guy that I worked with, but then I found out he likes Yu-Gi-Oh! But then I found out he was going to become a firefighter. I don't know. I'm indecisive. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I can't decide. My dad made me like this weird salad with olives in it or something, and I was like, oh, I don't want any. He's like, oh, come on, you have to try everything once. And I'm like, is that why you were married 4 times? So I wanted to be in the Air Force, but they disqualified me for my anxiety. My sister told me, oh, you can just lie about your anxiety. I'm like, oh, but it makes me anxious to lie. I can't do that. So I was talking to my dad, and I was like, hey, I'm using the bathroom a lot. I don't know what's wrong with me. And he's like, maybe it's your prostate. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't give medical advice. So I already know that my dad took his insulin shot, but when people come over, I like to remind him so people think I'm a good person. I live with my dad, and the other day he had an allergic reaction. So naturally I texted him, you alive? My eyes were really watery the other day, so I decided to go to the allergist to see why. She said it's because I'm sad. Oh. My brother was over the other day, and my dad offered him some shrimp, and he's like, oh, no, thanks. I'm like, oh, he can't have any. He's allergic. And he's like, I'm not allergic, but my throat just closes up. I'm like, great. He's 20 years old and doesn't know what allergic means. So the other day I played my dad his favorite song by Whitney Houston. Then right when he was getting into it, I turned it off. He's like, why'd you turn it off? And I was like, how does it feel to have something you love get taken away? And he's like, when did I take anything away from you? I'm like, October 7, 1997. You took away my 4th mom. She was my favorite. The other day, my dad said he'll do anything for me. I'm like, oh, you're full of shit. I think you need some prunes. All right. I applied for a job, and I didn't know what I should do because it was like 2 weeks after, and I was asking my dad for advice, but he's not from here. So he's trying to tell me to wait for them to call me. He's like, the Frisbee is in their house now. I'm like, what? I love memorizing the hot guys at the gym schedules. I'm just like by the elliptical waiting for them. But like Steve didn't come in yesterday, so it was like I worked out for nothing. My heart's in better shape, but it's lonely. But what I like to do is I go in at 9 o'clock because Mike comes in, and I go on the treadmill behind him, and I like run after him. It gets me in shape to stalk other hot men. You guys think that's creepy or just a great way to find a man? It might be creepy, but I've lost 30 pounds. So. I told my mom I was finally motivated and I went to the gym and she's like, oh, be careful. My friend's husband went to the gym one time and then he died. I'm like, Coroner said it was the cocaine. I love working out and I'm OCD. One time I spent like 4 hours at the gym. My family was so proud of me. But really, I was just cleaning the gym. It was so messy. I love I love working out when they're painting the gym because I can get twice as high. Okay. So I gave this homeless guy some money and I told my dad about it. And he's like, how come you don't give me any money? And I'm like, because he's nice to me. And he doesn't call me a whore. Thank you so much. That's my time.
Let's hear it for Ameera. Thank you so much. That was great. That was so funny. All right, let's keep going. And okay, so your next act is a force to be reckoned with. Not only has he been killing it in the local Kingston comedy community, he can help you with all your weed needs. You will love him. Let's welcome Luke Bawn.
Woo!
Woo!
Where is he?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Okay, let me spotlight you. Okay.
Can you hear / see me?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome to my living room. As Simone said, my name is Luke. As you can see, I am young and I've had a lot of surgeries. Just to give you an idea of how many surgeries I've had more attractive male doctors inside of me than an episode of Grey's Anatomy. A lot of attractive male doctors. I recently moved into a new apartment. It's great. As you can see, I got a nice painting, IKEA, $6.99. But I introduced myself to our neighbors, and I regret introducing myself to our neighbors because they're just weird people. They're fine people, but he tends to share a little too much. Like the other morning, I was smoking my morning cigarette out on the porch, and my neighbor Mike, we'll call him Mike for this story. That's his name. But we were sharing a morning cigarette, and he looked at me and he said, Luke, I'm not going to work today. I was like, why not, Mike? And he's like, well, last week at work, I was lifting something heavy all by myself. I was like, problem one, Mike. And he's like, I lifted it and I pulled my back up. And then I shit my pants. I was like, you shared a little too much on that story. I feel like just the back pulling out would have been the good part to end at the story. But wow, you can shit your pants while lifting something heavy. You learn something new every day. That's what they say. If they included that fact in all health and safety videos for team lifting, you'd see more team lifting. So when I'm not telling jokes on Zoom here, as Simone said, I love my cannabis. I actually have a job in the cannabis industry. I went to school to get this job. I grow and sell weed for the government, which it's funny because I grew and sold weed to pay for my college. Just to go back to growing and selling weed. I'm a terrible drug dealer. Like, I'm really bad at this stuff. But I love researching kind of the background history to marijuana. And one of my favorite stories is back in the early 70s, the American government did some tests to study the potency of marijuana. Now, these tests, they strapped gas masks to monkeys' faces, and they forced them to smoke about 1,000 times their body weight in marijuana. That's crazy. That's like, think about it, a 10-pound monkey times 1,000. That's like whatever that is in marijuana. Like, that's a lot. Now, I am a man of science, so I've been doing my own tests with the exact same variables as these monkeys. And my conclusion so far it's not that bad. It's not bad. But it's awesome that Ontario is finally rolling out all the vaccines and we're getting everyone back together so we can finally hug and kiss again. I'm very excited for that. I recently did with the first lockdown, I remember I went to visit my parents for the first time in a long time. And when I went, there was an old family friend there who she knew my sister and I when we were younger. And my sister and I were sitting there, and I remember she said to my mom, I forgot you have two of the most beautiful daughters I've ever seen in my life. So I got a haircut because that was just offensive. That hurt my soul. That was my pride. But it's weird. She was in the right because my sister does look a lot like me. We look very similar, which made it weird growing up because I always had friends that would bug me about having like relations with my sister. And I'm like, that's disgusting. That's fucking gross. You're gross. And to that, I always said, we look the same. So having sex with her would be like having sex with me. Weirdo. And then I fuck my friends, and none of them have fucked my sister yet. So my technique is working so far. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Simone. Everyone did great. Have yourselves a great night.
Thank you so much, Luke. Let's hear it for Luke, you guys.
Yeah.
That was great. Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep this moving. So your next comic is fresh off a food bank fundraiser where her show exceeded their fundraising goal.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome. So you can catch her next Saturday, actually day after tomorrow, Saturday, at the Alpha Woman Comedy Show. And she will be spamming the chat with links to the tickets now. Please welcome Ashley Perna.
Yeah.
Let me spotlight you, Ashley.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everyone, first, I know that between my lighting and Zoom's touch-up feature, I look more washed out than everyone's mom's jeans. It is because I have lupus. Flare-ups can be triggered by emotional distress, and I turned 38 this week and I'm single. No, and it's not that I need a relationship, guys. It's that I also got my COVID shot this week, and I lost the use of my left arm, and I got trapped in a sports bra for 2 days. I'm also pretty neurotic. Like when I type R, my phone goes ahead and auto-suggests, you mad? That's the rest of the sentence. Fitbit has given me a cardio badge. I don't do cardio. I just have panic attacks. I have a 290-60 streak in Duolingo because I cannot disappoint a fictional owl. And the other day, my therapist was telling me that I should consider dating again. And I was like, oh, no. I am not onboarding a whole new human. That is just way too much work. Anyway, she's on mental health leave now. But, being single, guys, isn't so bad. I mean, sure, now I'm the asshole who didn't refill the ice cube tray. And, I sometimes go so long without shaving my legs that my razor develops abandonment issues. But Like, you guys, I can open a pickle jar all by myself. So clearly, I don't need a man. Speaking of unwanted men, has anyone else Googled, can you impeach a premier lately? I mean, guys, Doug Ford avoids blame and responsibility so much. I am shocked I haven't dated him. One thing I really wish I had stocked up on before this most recent stay-at-home order is batteries. Because nothing is worse than having your vibrator die mid-sesh, like forcing you to go at it all handcrafted style, like you're Amish or something. And it's like, I can't, the pickles, guys, I can't. Maybe I do need a man. Or a better can opener.
Get the can opener.
I'm also a single parent, which has made dating tricky. The women I meet are mostly straight, and I'm more of like a pan rejectional. Like I'm cool with being rejected by all genders. And the men I meet don't want to raise someone else's kid. Like, dude, relax. I don't let his dad help me raise him. Trust me, sweetie. You and your We the North flag for a curtain have nothing to worry about. You suck at online dating when you come across an old forgotten profile and you are only a 96% match with yourself. Not to get all my dad on you, but like, where did the other 4% go? Truly, online dating is only good for two things. First thing, dick pics. And guys, don't. The nudes I get from women are practically an art form. So that grainy, weirdly zoomed in shot of your dick is not going to impress me. You want to impress me? Send me a picture of your mattress on an actual bed frame. Speaking of nudes, guys, an ex from like 5 years ago threatened to release mine. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me was like, you mean those pictures I took when I was in the best shape of my life? Yeah, release them. Just make sure you tag me in those. It is P-E-R. No, you know what? I will just send you my socials. Is it still the same number? And like, what did he think would happen? Did he think I'd go running into his arms? All like, oh, I've always wanted to be extorted. Did he think I would lose my job? I write wills. My clients are in their 80s. They think Googling someone is a sex act. The only bad part was telling my mom. I had to sit her down and say, well, Mom, sometimes when two people have trauma bonded and are almost vulnerable enough to say that they might like one another, they share certain intimate photos. It's really good for the dopamine. The shitty part was how she responded. She asked me for a smartphone with a better camera. Anyway, second thing online dating is good for: disappointing sex. The kind where they jackhammer you for like 38 whole seconds before flopping down beside you like a dead fish they're holding in their profile picture. I think I might just be bad at dating, because I do have terrible taste. I mean, honestly, if I've been interested in you recently, it might be time to reevaluate your life choices. I mean, with women, like, all I do is jackhammer them. No, I'm kidding. It's more of a pressure washing situation. And with men, it's like, I will give a guy my heart and my soul, and he'll give me like a pen and an STI and a drinking problem. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. My mom might be watching, so I have to be perfectly clear here. I do not have a drinking problem. And like, it's not that I can't recognize red flags, guys. guys. It's just that I'll see a bunch and be like, oh my God, are those for me? You know, my ex-girlfriend was practically a matador. She'd just wave run and I'd go running head first into it. And her vagina. And the last one, he was a man and a politician. How did I not know he would be full of BS and thought, I mean, dude avoided blame and responsibility so much. I am shocked he's not trying to run the province. Wait, thank you guys. My name's Ashley. I super appreciate the dopamine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you, Ashley. That was amazing. Keep it going for Ashley, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was so funny. Okay. So now we're at our feature act, and your feature act tonight is a wonderful human being. He's a dear friend of mine. He's a vital part of the Kingston comedy community, and he's talented and hilarious and devastatingly handsome. Let's give it up for Pete Egnatoff.
Yeah.
Woo, Pete.
Woo, yay, Pete.
That's me. Thanks, everybody. How are y'all doing? Man, it's been quite the show so far tonight. Give it up for yourself if you've been on there. There's been a lot of people that I haven't met before, so it's nice to see you perform. A beautiful thing. Am I coming through okay? Can you hear me? We're good?
Yeah.
Cool. Just going to continue to be unfunny for a moment, be all serious. The wonderful part about Zoom that we kind of take for granted, everybody, is that it does bring us all together from so far apart. People from Chicago, I believe LA. It's great. Why my my aunt and uncle, they had their 50th anniversary, and all right. I'm gonna shut the fuck up about that and yeah, move on to some other. Did anyone even talk about COVID weight so far? Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Nobody? All right. Well, let me tell you. I put on a little bit. And how I noticed it was a problem was when my waistband started doing the old curl. Anybody? Curl down to the front.
Ben.
That's no good. And then getting soaked in the rain one day, and I was drenched, but then underneath my stomach was this little like dry pouch. And this little built-in tumbrella that was kind of convenient, but also
Oh my God.
the nail in the coffin. Maybe I should be doing something. So, started walking a little bit more to try and counter that. Been some other changes during COVID. I got my first unsolicited dick pic, ladies. I feel your pain. I've only got it one time, and it threw me off for weeks. I've never quite been the same, let me tell you. I learned so much from it too, like that you don't put your face in a nude. If you got the old schlongs out, don't include. This guy who sent this to me didn't care. It wasn't even on Tinder or anything. It's like the problem with networking is that somebody on Facebook goes to add you. You see you've got 12 friends in common. They're all fucking comedians or writers or whatever. You're like, okay, I'll add this guy. Nothing. And then 2 weeks later, boom, there's this fucking schlongest. And it's out in a garden. And the phone's far enough away. Did someone take this for you? Did you like bring a stand and put it on a timer? Is this your grandma's backyard or is this a public park? Where did you take this? Oh, and it was a scary big one too. Oh, it was like impressive and depressing. It was So that's like a vow. Like I'm not gonna send an unsolicited dick pic. I can promise that. One like a solicited one inside a relationship. You never know. That's a different thing, right? Trading nudes. We're not going to get into that. The other big change for me during quarantine was you can maybe see them in the background. I got some cats. Picked up a couple kitties. It's my first ones ever. No applause for cats.
Yay, cat. Yay, cats.
That's kind of the right response because, like, God, I love them, but
Sorry, Pete, I was petting mine.
nobody prepared me properly. Like, everybody tells you, you know, you got to get food, you got to get them a water bowl, litter, obviously. And like, you know, you're going to need them. Nobody just tells you also make sure you're stocked up on Band-Aids. People don't give a shit. They don't understand. They get away with it because they're, you know, freshest or whatever. But for a while, my arms and legs, I looked like a teenage The Cure fan. Maybe I should be using a more modern reference, but I'm a phobia. Okay. I turned 35 last lockdown, so I feel like I'm getting up there, which is probably part of why the old umbrella is kicking in. You know, you get up there. But I was still getting out there. The old dating scene was okay for me. Did a little bit of the old Smash-a-reno. Anybody else get out there?
No.
Get their card stamped. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But I did manage to have a bit of success. I was thinking about the term Smash, and my stupid brain, I like to make acronyms. So I was like, does that stand for anything? You know, because WAP was so popular. We all know what that stands for. I was like, a Smash, like I said, from a rap song. It just became popular one time. There's actually a debate online about what the three meanings are. And one of them refers to like basics of technique. Smash stands for some mouth and some hands, which are the basics of what you should be using if you're going to treat your partner right.
Accurate.
Right. And there's, you know, the more kinky community is saying stuff like, no. That's the old suck my ass slowly, honey. Just getting real popular these days. And then for the younger folks who don't necessarily know what they're doing, it's maybe describing what they're stuck doing at the end of a bad night at the bar, which is, of course, silently masturbating at Steve's house. He does like to party, but he also has to work in the morning. Do it. That's fucking that. We've all had jobs, right? Oh yeah, Luke, my buddy, was talking about some jobs. But first, we'll talk about his apartment. Boy, is my set together. Love it. Fucking. So you're in an apartment building, is that right, buddy? Let's just say he is. Let's just say I was paying enough attention. There's always, I don't know if anyone else has lived in apartments, but you always find that there's those chatty motherfuckers. Sometimes they're awesome and sometimes they're horrible, and you just kind of have to roll with it. Like every fucking apartment building, there should really be a punchline here. Just bear with me, okay? Or, like Andy Rooney here, just doing some slice of life stuff. Every apartment building is different, you know? You just roll with the punches and see who you meet. Sometimes there's racists and sometimes there's cool dogs. You just hope for the best. So yeah, hope for the best. Luke, there's probably some cool ones there. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah. Just an unflushed out thought is goddamn apartments are basically college residence for adults. Should probably be a couple tags in there. I'm free to steal it before I fucking hash it out. I also have another note from the other day that rhubarb is the celery of dessert. I just want to share that. You can add it to a lot of stuff, but you don't have to. All right. That's rhubarb and celery can both go fuck themselves, I guess. How are we all doing tonight? We having a good time?
Yeah.
Right. Good. Some people were talking about their ideas for like businesses and shit like that. Mine are very dumb, but I'm going to share them with you. I got an idea for a themed restaurant I haven't seen before. I think there's like a niche market that could be fulfilled. It's going to be a seafood restaurant that also has a gun range. I'm going to call it Fish and Grips. All right, we're not taking that one. That's fine. How about like a clothing store and gun range? Socks and Glocks? Huh? Huh? All right. It never got off the ground on the same vein of stupid cheesy jokes. I wanted to have a band in high school. We were going to play metal covers of songs and music from war movies, and I wanted to be called Full Metal Racket, but nobody. Ours is like, you heard all my intros. This guy's the headliner. I can't believe it. My credentials are like, saw you headline in Kingston one time. And you were great, by the way. I really enjoyed it.
I don't think he can hear you.
Oh, well, whatever. I should probably bash out. I should probably bash out one or two, maybe get a laugh or two.
Fuck.
Before we done get on out of here. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky with my work. Believe it or not, I don't do this full time. I got a decent job right now. They've been real good to us in the pandemic. The job I want to do forever, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever done the job I want to do forever, you know. Sometimes you work some bad ones. You ever like really need a job and you go somewhere and they just hire you right on the spot? And you don't realize the warning flags that like, that's not good. They must really need fucking people. That's warning sign number one. And then warning sign number two is the first guy that you talk to who's showing you the ropes. Is like, hey, this is my name. Let me tell you stories about when I vacation in fucking Thailand and I get to sneak away from the wife. I'm like, oh, great. This type of work environment. Strike two. And then the first guy you meet who's on the same shift as you is, oh, hey, I'm Jay. I'm a recovering crackhead. All right, this is going to be my guy. Hard gold. And like, if you ever need to know anything about how to make money off of steel and copper, Jay is your fucking guy. Yeah, good heart, bad brain on that lad. But wherever he is, I hope he's doing well. But they haven't all been bad. Some of them definitely have been. But I used to work at Dairy Queen. That had its perks. Like free ice cream. I shouldn't say free ice cream. I should say moderately discounted ice cream, and never just taken or anything. No. And yeah, I don't know if you haven't told. Jesus Christ, I need to sleep. You can't tell from my set I'm not exactly like a gigantic badass. But, probably one of the more punk rock things I did was DQ at the end. I'm going to leave y'all fun folks with this. Last thing I did, because they made me the supervisor for the last shift I ever had to work, which if you own a business, don't fucking do that. It's just a recipe for the dumbass kid you've hired. Smoke weed in the milk fridge in the middle of the shift. Which... yeah, if there's any kids watching, don't do that. I don't know. Fuck. I just I miss doing this stuff live. Zoom, it's not the same. Appreciate you all for coming out. I can't wait till we can get back to clubs. One of the things I missed about the clubs is the fucking different crazy shit you see in the washrooms. I remember going to some crazy venue up in, I can't even fucking remember, some little cottage country town, and they have a scale in the bathroom so you can weigh yourself. So you have the foresight, you're like, well, before this dump, if I weigh myself, we'll see. Am I gonna hit the 1 pound mark? Who knows? That was one of the more curious things I've seen. I'm not an amateur in the bathroom. Like, I've seen a quarter in the corner in a toilet stall and thought for a second, like, oh, I should grab that. And I'm going, no. This could be a trap. You never know what's going to happen. And then, of course, the classic getting offered cocaine by a bunch of randoms at the end of the night. Who isn't tempted, right? But, all right, I'm going to shut the fuck up. Thanks for enduring. Thanks everybody for coming out and sharing your stories and supporting comedy in one form or another. And tip your wait staff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. That was great.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Peter.
much. So thank you to everyone who performed tonight. Let's hear it for everyone you've seen and heard tonight. I hope you had a great time. I always have so much fun running this show. I love it so much. And, please come back. Audience members, please come back. Comics, you're welcome back anytime. And that's the end of our show. And thank you so much. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, let's hear for Simone.
Thank you, Simone.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, you guys. Have a good night.
Take
Have a
care,
good
everybody.
night.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
Thursday.